Henry Shield joins us as the former SA on security to President Jonathan. Good morning and thanks for joining us. We're talking about security. You've been in government and a whole lot, was on security in the last administration and still with this administration. Tell us your assessment so far with the Nigerian military fight in the Nigeria's northeast.
Thank you, Suleiman, and good morning, viewers. First, let me correct the estimation. I was former security to the Honorable Minister of Defense, not President. And talking about my view of the war against insurgency and the achievements of the military, I think I'll say something. At this juncture, Nigeria needs to tell itself the gospel truth. We have lied to ourselves for too long. We have been insincere in this fight for too long. It is time to look ourselves in the face and say the truth. It is time to come out of our closet. It is time to show forth sincerity. You see, if there have been so many experts making so many conjecture about this war against insurgency, and if talk alone could address this matter, insurgency would have been a thing of the past by now. It is time we sat down to discuss. It is time for truth to lead us. That's my take.
When you say it's time for the truth, it's time for us to sit down and discuss, what exactly would we be discussing, and what truths do you think are being held back?
Thank you very much, Suleiman. Thank you very much. I think we'll start by saying, do we have a military in Nigeria today that can confront this insurgent and win this war? That should be the first truth. Do we have the capacity today, being the first day of December, does Nigeria have the capacity to adequately tackle this insurgency? I think that's where the first truth should come out from.
Do we have the military? But you have seen, you're one of those who have seen the effect or what the military has been able to achieve, as some believe, with the equipment they have, which may not be as sophisticated as it should be. And you're saying you're still wondering whether we have the military that can take up this challenge?
Thank you. Let me rephrase my submission this way. Yeah, we'll keep getting different information. We'll keep getting information that one can actually hold and start discussing insurgency. If we do not have adequate manpower to address insurgency, so let's face that particular challenge. We cannot keep sending our military to untimely deaths. We cannot keep sending our men to confront those who have already signed up for their own death. There is so much insincerity in this fight against insurgency. And it is affecting the capacity, is affecting the psyche of our men on the field.
All right, Mr. Shield. So what if you say we do not have adequate manpower and all of that? What then do you suggest? What do you suggest?
Number one is we have to acknowledge our shortcomings. We have to acknowledge the challenges that we have. We have to accept our strengths and our weaknesses. You don't go fighting insurgents ill-equipped. And so many actions So many actions are beginning to discourage the men on the field.
Okay, let me ask you. Some have suggested the death penalty for Boko Haram insurgents. Do you think negotiation or amnesty is an option the Nigerian government should be talking about or should be exploring at this time?
Well, it should be a carrot and stick approach.
What do you mean by, could you elaborate on the carrot and the stick approach?
You know, some of these terrorists, there is nothing you do to them that will make them to step back from what they've sworn to do. Such men, you need to put your foot forward and march them to the ground. But there are some of them who have been brainwashed, who actually want out. Those ones, the carrot can be offered to them. A man who has vowed to kill you, you do not go telling him, come, let us discuss.
Mr. Shield, very quickly here, I'll toe the line Mana left off, talking about amnesty as an option. Just recently, the president spoke with Mehdi Hassan on Al Jazeera, talking about perhaps some concession between the Boko Haram group and the government. Do you think, as an expert during the last administration that was also involved in the amnesty program, do you think that amnesty or some kind of negotiation with the group is something that you would want to see on the table?
Yes, amnesty is a good idea. You need to be able to identify those who are also tired on their own side. You need to identify those who have seen the evil that they are causing. There are some of them, no matter the amnesty you give to them, no matter the platform you give them, no matter the grace you give to them, to come back and reason with you as a country, they will never pull down their arms. So amnesty, yes, it can be given, but it needs to be strategically discussed. So we don't go giving freedom or granting freedom to someone to come and give us more headache.
Okay, Mr. Shield. Now, you talked about the military. You've talked about the role of the government. Let's come back to the citizens and what they should be doing in terms of helping to end insurgency. Our last guest talked about the fact that very, very few times do you find appreciation being given out to these men and women in uniform in all the security agencies who are fighting to ensure that there's freedom in the land and security and safety. But what do you have to say about the role of the citizen in all of this?
I think as citizens, I think we have not done enough, and I'll blame all of us because you're not equipping the military. It is because you're not doing this. You are encouraging these terrorists. There needs to be partnership. There needs to be friendship. There needs to be synergy between all across board. There needs to be collaboration. Security is the responsibility of every citizen. When the one that happened in France happened recently, the leader of the opposition was with the president. That is how nations fight terrorism. That is how nations come together. Because look at what happened in Kuje recently, the bomb blast in Kuje. It happened, and all of a sudden, it became a political affair. The president is not doing this. This party is not doing this. For goodness sake, those who died, they were, I mean, when these terrorists come, they don't differentiate PDP from APC, from ABGA, from this. They kill us all. So we need the partnership. Security agencies need the partnership of every citizen. But that should be on a condition that the security agencies on their own understand the importance of collaborating with citizens.
Well, when you say security, you need to understand the importance of collaborating with citizens. Do the citizens understand the role of the security agents?
I think some citizens do. In that light, I think I would like to look at education. While I held forth in the FCT as the SA security to the minister, one thing we kept doing was continuous education of FCT residents, and that is what I expect the present government to do. You need to make this fight the fight of every Nigerian. You need to make this fight the fight of every man, every woman, every young one in Nigeria. You need to make it our fight. So yes, the citizens are willing to help the government. The government has a responsibility to enlighten the citizens.
You've said so much there, and Henry Shields, former SA security to the minister, former minister of the FCT, would like to thank you so much for spending time with us. We do hope that your submission of collaboration between the security agencies and the citizens will be taken into account on this particular war against terror. Many thanks for speaking with us this morning.
Thank you very much, Demon.